Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. How'd you guys do? How'd you guys make out?
Standard fare, man. Ate a lot, slept on the couch.
Went
to
to
someone
dream
else's
pastries.
Made
No.
myself sick, similar to how Tinzveta has a tendency to make himself sick. On
You know,
things.
this may be the only year I wasn't around my family and didn't get I didn't get sick. Almost every year, Chuck, if I go to my mother's house, it's just standard. Something about just a year's worth of just diseases that know my genome are just ready to attack and invade my body every time I walk into that building.
This was in my own house.
Yeah, well, it's because they rode on your relatives.
You know, I thought they might have. So.
Anyways, guys, thank you for joining us for this episode of -2 Presents The Curse of Strahd. As we always do, huge shout out to our sponsors for our episode this evening. Couldn't make this possible, couldn't play the game really without the help of Foundry. Foundry is the virtual tabletop platform that we use and we play on. Here you'll see the maps, you'll see us utilizing it throughout the episode. It is just an incredibly powerful tool to run your games virtually online. They have a ton of different systems that you can download, just not even just 5e. There's Shadowrun, there's all kinds of stuff. I think there was a really cool, I played a Blades in the Dark game with Soul and the guys over at DM Studios, and there's a Blades in the Dark module for Foundry. It was really, I thought it was really cool. So any game you're looking to play, they've got options for you. It's a one-time buy. Your players get in for free. Go check it out. Absolutely killer. Of course, we would not be able to play it as smoothly as we do if we didn't, of course, have Forge. Forge is the hosting service dedicated to Foundry that we utilize to run the games so that my players can join cross-country. We get zero lag due to the 200 servers they have across the world. And honestly, it just runs so smooth. They also have a ton of additional assets through their Bazaar that you can download for Foundry itself, as well as storage and backup. And it's just a really, really phenomenal service for the cost of $12 a month, which is significantly less than if you were to purchase the same service from a competitor. Wink, wink, Roll20.
Ooh,
also,
dropped the
this
name.
Dang, gave
Also,
the name and everything.
Well, listen, the last couple times I've had to use Roll20 for other games, they keep feeding me ones, so they got it coming. They know what they did. Like literally an obscene amount of ones. Yep. Anyways, this weekend, I believe today and tomorrow, I believe tomorrow's the last day. You can actually get not only a 14-day free trial of Forge, but you can get 10% off if you type in code Black Friday 21.
Ooh.
So 10% off. That's $4 a month off. Or you can get, you can get subscriptions starting at $4 a month if you use that code, which
Not
is
bad.
pretty killer. So
$4
if you're going to try it out,
really good, actually.
Yeah, if you're going to try it
That's a
out, now's the
coffee.
time to do it. Yeah.
That's less than a coffee.
Yeah. Oh, depending. Yeah, Starbucks. Ugh.
Gross.
Yeah.
McDonald's, it's 4 coffees.
And yeah, if you want Newman's own
Sure.
beans.
You know, there's nothing wrong with McDonald's coffee.
I can't do
You
it.
bean
I
snobbing
can't do
tonight? Is that what
I
we're
make,
doing?
I make my own coffee, so
Yeah. That's part of waking up is Folgers in your cup.
I'm not a snob, man. I got Folgers. I got Folgers in the cabinet right
I
now,
actually-
but McDonald's coffee just does not do it.
No, it's
I actually know a guy that roasts his own beans. It's
Oh
cool.
yeah, and you've got
Okay,
one of
that's
those
good.
diffusers
know
and
anything about
everything,
this.
and
I don't have
anyways.
a diffuser.
Of course, last but certainly not least, Tabletop Audio. Tabletop Audio is the user-supported ambient sound service out there for geeks and DMs like myself to find the perfect audio tracks to fit your games and drive the just amount of tension for those random Strahd meetups.
Screw you, dude.
so good.
Tabletop Audio. Tabletop Audio is you can either download the tracks, you can stream them, you can they got a sound pad feature, and then you got a Patreon where you can get alternate versions of all their tracks. Definitely go check them out if you're looking to spook your players and upset Chuck the way that I am. And I think that's all I have for promotional stuff. Ryan, why don't you talk about what we're giving away tonight?
what we're giving away. Oh my god, guys. You have never heard this before. We're giving away dice. Brand new promotion. First time you ever heard of it.
Oh,
no
man.
way. We're giving
No
away
way.
these dice. Bwah! Quailing Kazoo.
Oh,
Fireworks.
they're so pretty.
They're great. So for the low cost of 2,000 elf eggs, you know you can get elf eggs anywhere from your local grocery store. Pick them up, use them for some dice. You know you can enter once a stream, and we'll do the drawing. Wow, the end of the month's coming up. You've only got well, we got to do the drawing on Tuesday, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep.
So yeah, till Tuesday.
Yep. Or actually, Tuesday would be your last day to enter because that's the 30th. So then,
Maybe we could do it on the
So then next Sunday.
Thursday night stream.
No,
we could-
Thursday night works, I guess.
Yeah, Thursday night stream. So yeah, I guess that's when we'll do the drawing.
Urban Shadows. We're giving away dice.
So stop by and we'll give away some dice. And if you've been entering for the month, and even if you haven't been entering the month, you know, just throw an entry. You never know. But if you have no interest in these dice, which, you know, why would you? You can get a Steam game today from us with our Steam game bribe. 300 elf eggs. That's the cost of a follow. So give us a follow and potentially win a Steam game. Ben, what are we giving away tonight?
Tonight up on the block we have Two Worlds 2, which apparently is like the Polish Elder Scrolls.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't sell it, I don't know what will.
So
I'd at least try it.
yeah.
Are you not curious? Like,
I'm
It's
very
Polish,
curious.
so you know it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 300 elf eggs will get you the Polish Elder Scrolls. So enter in the same place you'd enter in for the dice, and, you know, win something. Back to you, Jay.
You know, I love winning things, Ryan. I never do, but you know, the best I can do is just make other people win things, I guess.
Make them. You will make them win things.
Yeah, I'm gonna force you to win some shit tonight. All right,
we're
no,
in a
I
mood
think that's
tonight,
all.
guys.
That's all I have, Ryan. Are you guys ready to dive into the sunny world of Barovia?
I guess. I
All
can't
right.
stop thinking about Strahd. That was terrifying.
Play us in. All right. So last time, you, after an interesting encounter at the Blood on the Vine, tends a restful, pleasant night sleep. Not so much for the rest of you. You made your way to the Burgomeister's manor, where you met with Ismark in Arena. They bade you assist them in burying their dead father. You made your way to the church, where you saw a disastrous scene there and heard the tale of the poor father whose son had been turned into some sort of creature and was locked in the basement, choosing to allow the father to deal with his own internal family issues. You helped burying the former Burgomeister before heading out and putting the scene of Barovia behind you. For some of you, a welcome reprieve from the strange, dark, gloomy city. Not at all what had been promised by the Vistani in their camp. For others, possible fortune and fame loomed above you as you made your way around that cliffside, across the river, and that castle in the distance loomed above. You have several days on the road, and the first day outside of the city, a bit of the morning has already gotten away from you. After having dealt with the burial of their father, Ismark, in good spirits, begins guiding you quickly down the road outside of town. The sky overcast as it's been every day since you've been. A cool winter chill blows through the muddy ground that is the old Svalak Road. The floor is yours.
After roughly an hour or so trudging along, I'm gonna look over to Durango and... Hey, Rango, how was the tune?
Something to help move the feet, yes? And Durango, his hands move to his lute very naturally and start picking out a gentle but motivating tune.
Ash is going to toss on that very colorful cloak that we got from the Vistani and toss the hood up and kind of walk near the back of the pack. Scanning the edge of the forest road for any craziness.
Make a perception check, Ash.
Starting off strong, it's a 10.
10. As you cross that old stone bridge and make your way into that darkened wood, known colloquially by the locals as the Svalak Woods, your eyes scan the tree line. Deep within the forest itself, the mist and the fog from the valley, particularly heavy in the mornings, continues to choke throughout the tree line, making it almost impossible to see much further into the woods than maybe 50 or 100 feet. Each tree standing tall and barren, like frozen statues in a line. You don't see anything else. No movement, very little life.
Ash is going to sidle up to Tens, listening to the fanciful musical stylings. And I don't like it. Can't see anything.
Tens has been basically just staring at his feet as he walks along in that kind of cold blue, frostbitten, colorful cloak. He finally looks up and around and just kind of glances from side to side. It's expected.
I mean, this place is weird, but I would expect something. A bird, a rabbit. All we got is fog.
At that mention, he's going to kind of scan the area for any sort of living thing, any tracks going to and from any direction. I mean, the whole thing.
Make a perception check for me.
It's better than the survival, so 23.
23. So you begin to look, and it looks like there are some tracks deep in the mud in the road, although the rain is lightly coating the ground, and there are various hoof prints in marks. It's very difficult to, but in the midst of everything, the deepest and the freshest that you can make out are a set of wagon tracks. 4 wheels, weighed down and heavy in the mud. Scanning the tree line, very little as far as wildlife. Nothing like the Fae, nothing jumping out from behind the trees, nothing skittering throughout the forest. A caw pierces the sky as two ravens flutter by and land on a nearby dead tree. Their eyes seem to follow you as you exit the woods.
Do they look particularly special in any way, or are they just simple ravens?
Oh, they look just like simple ravens.
You know, back home, things were a lot more lively, no matter where you went. The material is very boring, to say the least.
It is a curse that we have earned through our ancestry. Something the devil Strahd in this mist. None knows the story per se, but apparently it is something in the past, something we did once as Barovians that has brought this upon us. But ravens are good. They're good luck in Barovia.
That's odd. Aren't they usually an ill omen?
Only if you were to harm them. But the Barovian people are superstitious folk. But we are very spiritual. Even if there is no more answer to our prayers, we are ravens represent the mother of night.
Does Tinsveta recognize that title?
Make a religion check.
How about a 16?
So with a 16, you would recognize the Mother of Night, although, and it doesn't click right away until you think of the Raven and the Raven Queen.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly it pops in your head. I mean, she is a relatively well-known deity amongst humans, less so the Fae, but you've read stories of her supposed ascension and her seizing of certain pantheons from other gods, including death and night.
Can Tens make any? Okay, so Chuck's making some connections. Tens has an insight of +7. Would he make a connection between that being a good omen and potentially Barovians worshiping the Raven Queen specifically?
Yeah, I think it was pretty clear.
Okay.
And Ismark even goes on to say, yes, so the day we worship the Morning Lord, Lathander, he guides us and watches over us, and the Queen of Ravens, the Mother of Night, watches over us in the evening. Although neither answers these days. We have whatever curse has fallen upon us is they have not forgiven us either, apparently. But you wear the symbol of Lathander, do you not? Perhaps he listens to you.
You see relatively like upbeat and jovial Cole like clapping around along to the lute. Get a bit serious for a second. I don't know if he listens to many people these days.
Well, I guess it is not just us. Perhaps the gods are just no longer interested in immortality.
Who knows? But you know, I know people. People are gonna find a way to make a living. Yeah. You don't need a god to put food on your table.
A clever man learns to turn a curse to a blessing, no? And Durango holds up his hand and wiggles his extra finger before going back to strumming.
You see Ismark smirks a little bit, and as you know, Arena also lightens up a bit at your at Durango's positive message. I too choose to believe that just because we don't hear them doesn't mean that they're not with us. As the day, go ahead. Yeah.
And what's the point?
Well, that's what it is. The point. We do the best we can, and if we're to be rewarded for it, then so be it. But to know means that we're not doing good for the sake of doing good. Is this not correct? If you live your life for the sake of a reward, then did you really live your life the way you saw fit?
Depends what you're doing. Yeah. Sometimes do the best you can, and don't matter.
Well, that is the rub of it, huh? We must always just do the best we can. But perhaps the gods are more understanding than we give them credit for, huh?
Well, if they're more understanding, they should probably share that understanding with us then.
We'll just sort of salutes at Ash and kind of waits up for Durango to kind of catch up and lockstep with him.
As the day trudges on, a couple hours into your travel, you reach the woods begin to clear. And that river meets up with the road and then disappears again, but you can still hear the flow somewhere beyond the tree line. And you reach a crossroads. Ismark turns as the road starts to turn northwards. Well, so we have two options here. We can continue on west and the road will wrap around until we reach the falls, or we can cut through, but there is a Vistani camp near the Seer pool.
Is the Vistani camp a bad thing?
He spits on the ground for a second. The Vistani are interesting people, but they are mostly known to be thieves and brigands, bandits, but worst of all, they serve the devil Strahd. They are the only ones that can come and go freely from Barovia, yet they bring others with them, sacrifices like yourselves, to be trapped here with us.
Wait. Run that back.
Sacrifices.
Playthings for Strahd. Every once in a while we get new folk strangers. The last was a little over a year ago. And he was strong, powerful wizard. Came and spurned the townfolk. They attacked Strahd Castle and never returned.
What was
These
the
things
wizard's name?
I don't recall. Black robes, that is all I remember. I was young at the time.
A tale fit for song, Mr. Ismark.
Did you hear the Vistani tell it? But on top of that, they have their own curses. They use black magic. They deal in sorcery. Tells their fortunes.
Tell me, how often do their fortunes actually find a foothold in reality?
I would just as well trust a Vistani fortune as I would a loaded crossbow. While I'm certain it is accurate, it all depends on which direction it's pointing.
Okay, he'll immediately turn to Fortescue and just be like, I don't believe it would be wise of us to go and play at the castle, then, if that's the case.
Durango looks like mortified at the idea. But Mr. Tens, the Lord Strahd extends such a polite invitation. It would be most rude to turn it down.
If he's as awful as everybody seems to say he is, or is as powerful as everybody seems to say he is, and he is the, and I quote, beating heart of the castle, I don't think it's wise.
But a song can tame even the most savage beating heart. Is this not correct, Mr. Tens?
In many instances, yes. However, if you can take down a wizened mage that is supposedly as powerful as our friend Ismark says he is, I don't trust it.
You know, it's about perspective, isn't it? I can't tell you how many places I've been where the peasantry hates their lord, say he's evil. He comes in there and he raids, takes our crops. Then you get behind the castle walls, you talk to them. You know what they say? Well, they need those crops to make sure that they had grain stored away in case of famine. Every lord, everybody in power seems evil and is shoveling dirt.
I tend to agree. However, and he looks at their two patrons, and he says, I don't think they're exactly peasantry, as you put it. Burgomeister is typically a mayor of a town.
I understand that, but I ain't in the castle walls.
Doesn't mean anything. Noble is a noble.
Means a great deal. Means a great deal. There's a reason that these people ain't in a stone wall. Because if something were to happen, those gates close. The king stays safe. He needs to. He's gonna rule the country if someone comes storming in there.
As a teller of tales, Mr. Tens, let me tell you, over time, tales have a tendency to grow, much like a person. Take on new features. You would not recognize them years before or years after, but it is the same, no? Perhaps this is the case. He said he was just a boy.
I will
All I'm
tell you, these
saying-
are not just tales. Look at my sister's throat. Do you think this happens overnight? Do you think this is just a tall tale?
Oh, I ain't saying he's an angel.
There is no man behind that castle. There is no man that imprisons us here. He is vampire. And he is evil.
Side note, having listened to you all speak for the past hour or so, do you all remember Madame Ava's tellings? One of them was of a supposed giant god, which is probably a bit of a misnomer. I'm sure it's not quite a deity of sorts, but there's one at the end of a long road deep within the mountains. There's a couple of things within the mountains for us if we are to believe them to be true. And if there's any sort of foothold that these fortunes hold in reality, as you say, they are accurate, though not exactly perfect, which is typical for fortunes. I would say that we should consider, after we deliver these two to their location, head to the mountains.
Of what do you speak? What were the words?
Oh, we got some sort of Vistani fortune card writing before.
He puts
the
up a
time here.
hand to interrupt him, and he just says, "We spoke with Madame Ava before coming in."
He crosses and makes like a symbol, like for the symbol for Lathander.
We got the 7 of swords, the 8 of coins, the 7 of stars, the tempter, and the marionette.
Well, I can tell you that to the north is Mount Baratok, and he points, and you can see, looming past, even beyond the castle of Ravenloft, you can see the tips of the mountains to the north, and then behind us is Gakis. There is a temple, they say, at the top of Mount Gakis. Perhaps that is what you seek.
Well, there was also mention of an abbey. Someone that would be of good help in an abbey. And a mountainside abbey specifically. Is this the temple you speak of?
I am not certain. It is not. I am unfamiliar. It is. I don't travel outside of the town much. Only between here and Vallaki is about as far as I've made it.
That makes sense. All right.
But if you're looking for an abbey, all I can think of would be.
Oh, the abbey. We were to bring you to one or two places. It was the town that you had originally suggested, and an abbey that the priest had mentioned.
Yes, that is what I was saying. If you continue on past outside of Vallaki to the west, you could find it. We could go there as well.
No. There'd be no need to sacrifice anybody else to anybody. Senseless violence is senseless.
Yeah, well, if you seek to go that direction, the abbey is in the village of Kresk. Kresk. Sorry, it's my accent. Kresk.
So Vallaki, it's closer to that Mount of Baratok, isn't it?
Yes, although it is very difficult to get to Mount Baratok. There is thick Svalek wood in between, and you'd have to go around Lake Zarovik. It'd be quite the journey. It is difficult to make, but you could do it.
Well, if Vallaki is to be a safe haven for you all, perhaps we could make it some semblance of a touchstone for us, a place to come back to whenever we go to and from various different places before we go and perform for our Lord Strahd. No?
There is quite a bit of fish in Lake Zarovik. It is a industry for Vallaki. Perhaps you could find a way across the lake, and that would make your journey quicker.
I was wondering why that connected, where the fishing portion of that connected to what we were talking about.
Because it's quite a lively. I can't say port because there's not any sea travel. It is just quite a bit of fish that populate the lake, and they bring it in for the town.
He looks at Ash. Thoughts on all of this? You're awful quiet.
Listen, I've taken money from dirt diggers. I've taken money from kings. I don't have qualms about who I take money from, and I don't care about their machinations and what they plan on doing with grain or the dirt that they dig. I could give two shits less. All I know is that Strahd doesn't sit well with me, and that's not often that something happens. What is that noise?
As you say, what is that noise? You see in the crossroads there is an old wooden gallows that appears to be creaking in the chill wind. A frayed length of rope dancing from its beam as it creaks. The wood seeming to breathe almost as that with that cold wind blowing down from the mountains. It's there looking around now. You can see the well-worn road splits, and there's a signpost opposite the gallows that points off in 3 different directions. One pointing towards the village of Barovia, one pointing northwest to where Ismark has explained the Vistani tend to camp, the seer pools, and the other to Ravenloft and Vallaki. The northwestern fork heading toward the pools slants down and disappears further into the tree lines, while the southwest fork clings to an upward slope. And across from the gallows, a low wall crumbling in places partially encloses a small plot of graves shrouded in that thick, thick fog.
Cherry in it.
Yeah. Something like that.
Yes, best to not dally around. What is our move? North or what? I would prefer to avoid the Vistani.
Well, if they're servants as you say they are, we can either. She looks to the others. Never mind. Let's just avoid them.
I think I've made enough new friends for a while.
Okay. And as you all turn west and begin to make your way past that gallows, Tens, you notice something. First, your eyes dart into the tree line or into the bushes. A figure crouched, a slight glint of metal.
He will. He's just gonna hold his hand crossbow below his cloak and have a bolt ready. It's not gonna make it known yet.
Okay. And as the rest of your party begins to move closer and closer, the figure stands up, crossbow pointed at all of you.
He fires it at him.
Okay, go ahead and make a ranged attack roll.
I can.
Don't do this on my
Clint
bad
Eastwood
days.
over here.
Feeling lucky.
I don't think a 9 hits. Jesus.
A 9 does not hit. No.
I have 2 tokens on the board.
Oh, do you? Oh, yeah. How did your other one get there? There we go. As that arrow flies, he ducks back down and it slams into a tree next to his head.
He just says, "We're not alone."
And as you say that, multiple figures begin popping out of the woods. Let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Yay.
Could you possibly give me permission to my character sheet again?
Nah, man, you don't get to play tonight. You're just an observer.
Got it.
Conscientious objector.
Interesting. That must be why you're in as a different name. Maybe because when we had to re-add you.
Guess so.
Maybe you have multiple accounts.
I don't. No, I don't. I have one account.
You've done something wrong.
Of course.
You've done something wrong, Charles.
There's also
Right.
no active combat for which to roll an initiative.
Yeah. Well, because I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
distracted by
yeah.
Chuck's doing things poorly.
Yes, poorly. That's my fault. Poorly. Huh? Man, rolling high, guys.
Wow,
Jesus.
natural one. Oh my god.
Holy shit.
And one of those was a nat 20.
Jesus Christ. I just waited just in case.
Fuck.
And that still was not great.
Fuck.
Okie dokie.
Hey, here we go.
All right. So as one of the figures darts out of the tree line, he let's see, light crossbow. Yep, perfect. He pops out. He pops out of it from his cover. If I can, no, come on. There we go. What? Oh, there we go. Out from his cover and fires a shot immediately at. We'll just say the first person he sees, which is going to be you, Cole. All right, that is a 12.
I ain't gonna hit, mate.
All right, so as Tens shouts, you see this figure pop out and fire the crossbow bolt. Quickly, you pull your shield out, and bing, you hear it slam into the shield.
Oh, that should have been a. I rolled the damage, not to hit.
All right, I see. Then hides
Yeah,
again.
whatever. I don't think a +2 would have made it hit anyway.
All right, Tens.
Let's see. So, let's see how far away people are from me. Oh, hey, no, that's not what I want. I want to measure. Okay. Let's see. So he can get about here. If I go here, would you say that blocks line of sight through that tree from this fella?
I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to say line of sight, but I'm going to say you'll have 3/4 cover.
I'll take it. All right. So he's going to rush up here. And he's going to point this one out, giving the help action via Master of Tactics as a bonus action. And just say, that one over there. And then proceed to turn and fire at this one up here. So the next person will have advantage on the attack against that guy. Ugh. Okay.
Okay. Did you roll?
No, I've got to make sure that I have my resources consuming correctly.
Wow. Sorry.
It's okay. It's not going to work for me right now. So that's a +5 to hit, not a +3 to hit like I had earlier. How about a 20?
Yeah, why is it not doing your bolts? 20 definitely hits. Go ahead and roll the damage.
6 points of damage. Let's see. That's movement, bonus action, and that would not give him.
Oh, I see what the problem is. The
attack.
problem is not what it's consuming. The problem is the resource. I think is.
I can figure it out. That's my turn.
It says 20, but the quantity wasn't set to 20. It just says it in the description. There you go.
Ah, I see.
All right. 6 points of damage as the your crossbow bolt fires through one of these individuals in this sort of mud-caked leather armor just popping out with his crossbow. Your arrow catches him and skids past his arm, and you can watch him wince and fall backwards. All right, and that brings us to Durango.
So everybody on the board here is plainly visible. There's no obstructions or nobody's actively hiding.
No, for the most part, almost every single one of them has cover.
Okay.
So they are all ducking behind trees and in bushes. They aren't just incredibly visible.
Okay, but not like concealed. Like their locations are still known.
Correct.
Kind of
Yeah.
thing? Okay. So seeing Tens run up and shoot into the bush, Durango comes up behind him and points the headstock of his loot in the general direction of the two side by side there, and just plays one, like he raises his hand really high dramatically and slams it down on the strings, the air in front of him exploding around those two as he casts Shatter.
Constitution saving throw. So it's a success and a failure.
All right, so it's a full and a half damage for 7. Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
That was a fine use of my last spell slot, gentlemen. That is my turn. Actually, no. Durango
Oof.
then heroically runs away several feet, looking rather dashing as he does so. That's my turn.
Your last spell slot. You weren't long
Alright.
rested from the night at the tavern?
He's a warlock.
Oh, that's
used
right. Yeah.
distort value last time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So as the headstock cascades that magic out, and then that sound reaches its point and just explodes. You can see the leaves and everything get pressed downward and blown, bits of twigs and everything shot out as that sound just reverberates through the air. You hear a scream and a shout from inside the blast radius. One of them reaches out again. Now kind of stumbles a little bit, blood pouring from their ears. All right, this one is going to fire at Tensveta. That is a 20.
That's a hit.
Right.
Let's knock him out.
All right, 6 points of piercing damage as a crossbow bolt from the one that you hit flies in your same direction.
Don't like that.
You did jump right out in front, though, didn't you?
I did.
Rogues.
Same thing here.
Calculated.
Another crossbow bolt fires from the tree line. That's an 18.
18 hits.
Maybe Chuck didn't want to play Strahd. That's 6 points of piercing damage.
I'm okay so far. Not
All right,
great, but I'm okay.
And one more. For a 14.
14 just hits my AC.
All right. Playing ball. There we go. 8 points of piercing damage.
Ooh, barely standing with one
Oh,
point.
man.
Yep,
How does that level
as-
3 feel, buddy?
Yeah.
Yeah, as 10 steps forward now, the barrage of crossbow bolts begins to fly from all different directions as these assailants begin firing at him from the tree line. Ash.
Having seen Tens go over there, shoot off an arrow, and then immediately gets 6 arrows back, Ash is going to take a shot at this person over here that he pointed out that I would have advantage on. Maybe if I can figure out how to do this. Okay, here we go. $14. for 2 damage.
Good. We're good. We're doing great.
Yeah, 14 with his cover misses. However, so as you attempt to line up that shot with the arrow, he's kind of ducking in between and around these trees, and you fire it, and it deflects off that tree again.
All right, we're gonna use bonus action surge. And then we're gonna go ahead and shoot another arrow at that same guy. Do I still have advantage, or is it just good for 1?
It's just the help action, so it only works once.
25.
25 definitely hits. Go ahead. Now beating in, you get the first arrow going a little awry. Now you see you've locked onto the target. Firing that arrow into the tree line connects
for 2 damage.
5 damage.
5 damage.
Oh, 5. I forgot I have a +3. Never mind. I just saw the 2 and got sad again.
It's all right. All right. That brings us to Arena. Arena, you'll see will drop back. She pulls out a sword and a shield as she sort of ducks with Ismark for cover. Ismark will draw his sword and get in front of her, pull out his sword and shield, do the same. So sorry, excuse me. And with that, we will come up to this one who is going to fire at you 10s. That is a 15.
I'm unconscious.
And I rolled a 1 too on the damage. Well, so it was a 3. Yep. So that last bolt catches in this one. This one hits hard, and you watch as your vision starts to fade as that warmth rushes through you, and you fall to the ground. Cole.
Stupid elf. And I ain't never been in a fight before. And I'm gonna use my bonus action to cast Expeditious Retreat. But I ain't running. I'm just using it as a dash for my bonus. So, I'm going to move 45 feet right up to this motherfucker. And on the whole way there, I got the shield in front, and I got a leather strap on the bottom of my Morningstar, and I'm just swirling it around like Thor's Mjolnir, and I'm gonna come over and try to uppercut him underneath his chin with it. 15.
15 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Eat it. It's 8 points of damage.
Yeah, 8 points as that Morningstar connects and cracks against his chin. You can see he's bleeding now, broken teeth as he stumbles backwards into the tree.
Is he still
He's still
lucid?
up. Yep.
I'm gonna pump that divine smite in there. Or the where's me abilities? And that way, let's see. So I'm still trying to get used to these guys. So you have different ones you can use, correct? Or
For what?
I just have poison strike, correct? I like it's listed as divine smite, but
No, so you can smite, or you can poison strike. Poison strike uses your channel divinity.
okay. How many?
Smite
points?
uses a spell slot.
Okay, how many points of channel divinity do I have? Is it one for
It's
per
one.
Should just
level?
be one.
One.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's one for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have that written down here. Yeah, I'll use the divinity point.
Okay.
Come here, poison strike. Oh. It's a 13 on the poison strike.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. So as he stumbles backwards into the tree, you can see that his hand rushes to his mouth, and as it does, this like black, these black lines begin to form and stem out from where the mace hit it, and just in cascade throughout his face as he this like chokes like silently in this horrible scream before he just falls to the ground.
And do I still? I moved 45 feet only, so I still have 15 I can move.
With expeditious retreat, what did it gives you double your movement, right?
It gives you your bonus action to dash, basically. So I moved the 30 feet of the dash plus 15 feet of my normal movement, so I'd still have 15 feet left.
Yeah, hold on one second. I just want to look at something. So when you cast a spell and then as a bonus action. Okay, so yeah. So you had 60 feet, so yes.
Okay. I'm going to take the remainder of my movement and get 15 feet and sort of get, shield up sort of as best I can with the amount of time I got to get there. Get shield up in front of Ten's Veta.
All right. They all seeing you now will train their crossbows on you as they're ducking into the trees and then popping out into fire. The first one's an 8. Tens, go ahead and make a death saving throw for me.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh my
That's
god,
a
that was
failure.
so
First
close to
failure?
being a 1. Oh my god.
You cough as a bit of blood, like unconscious on the ground, just begins to fall out of your mouth. And Durango.
So Durango runs up to Tenz's prone form and squats down like he's examining him, but he's really using his corpse as like cover as he tries to shoot back at these guys in the trees. Did that shatter spell do anything for the cover these guys are hiding behind? Did that clear any of the brush up?
They're still hiding kind of behind a tree and in a brush. It did clear some of it, but they're still pretty hidden.
All right, Durango's gonna open up at whichever one looks like he's in worse shape, if that's something he can assess from that distance.
That'd be this one here. Yeah, 11 doesn't hit.
Not so much. No. That's all I got.
All right. So as you fire that bolt from the tip of your loot, it flashes off into the tree line and slams into the ground just beyond them. All right. Well, this one's going to take a shot at seeing that bolt. He's going to shoot at Durango. Natural 1.
Okay.
5. I wasted all my good rolls on 10s. As the bolt snaps, just as it breaks off as he goes to fire it, and it goes just a few feet, and you can see his crossbow jams a little. He starts to fumble with it. These ones are going to fire at Cole.
Oh my nuts!
It's a natural 20.
Yeah, I guess it is, huh? And a 19.
Next and a yep. So I'll go ahead. We'll do. Guess I didn't waste all my good rolls. So that's 10 points of piercing damage on the first shot. Cole.
Okay.
I always knew we were gonna die in the mud in the middle of the road.
Okay, 5 points of piercing damage on the second one.
Okay.
And then there's the third one. Sorry, I forgot.
The apply damage plugin isn't working right now.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Third shot's a 14.
That misses.
Okay, good. Yeah, so as those bolts begin to fly one after another out of the woods, you attempt to deflect them all. One of them manages to irk by and just catches you hard in your shield arm. And as you drop that shield a bit, the next one catches you again in the shoulder. Ash.
Fucking elf, and runs. Can I move my guy? Why can I move?
I'm gonna
Got
get
the
everybody
You get the
who
measuring.
loves by the end of this. It's great.
Oh.
You eating pralines?
Okay,
It's
there we
those
go.
stick cookies filled with goop.
Yeah, that's a praline.
And I'm gonna fire off an arrow.
It's a wafer
at
roll.
This one dead ahead of me.
Oh, pirouette, not pralines.
11.
Yeah, no, the arrow just doesn't find its mark again. Flies through the trees, doesn't hit anything.
And that'll end my turn. Yeah, that'll be it.
Ismark will rush up. Him in arena now, trying to flank the other ones. As Ismark actually puts away his sword and draws out a heavy crossbow. Turns and fires on the nearest one, but does not hit. Same thing. The arrow just flies past the trees. Doesn't seem to find a mark.
Ash just looks over and goes, "Yeah, they're hard to hit. I know."
Cole.
I'm gonna move back 5 feet, and I can't believe I'm wasting this, but I'm gonna use a cure wounds.
Oh, I'll take it.
Actually, what's your hit point max?
21.
I'm gonna do 15 points of lay on hands on you.
Hey.
All right, what does that look like for Cole?
It's funny, you know. You used to they found his spells being bright and radiant. It does initially start out that way. I put my hand on his chest, and you sort of see this light come out, and then it starts to tint sort of a color that you only really get sort of the red skies in the morning sort of look when the red sun's reflecting off the bottom of a cloud, and that's sort of the light that starts radiating from it.
Okay, tens as this sudden warmth is replaced in the chill air begins to cling to the dried blood that is now on your body as this healing touch begins to close those wounds. You gasp, and suddenly your eyes open again, and there's Cole's smiling, broken-toothed face above you.
The warmth of the red kind of starts to take over that permafrost as the permafrost completely melts off of his body as he goes into summer.
So that was my action, and for my bonus action, let's see. Yeah, you're weak. I'm also going to just kind of grab you by the shit and up you go. And as I'm lifting you up, I'm gonna cast a Shield of Faith on you. So that's +2 to your AC.
Yeah.
And I just sort of grimace at you. Don't do it again. It's my turn.
You muted, dude.
Great. So with that, Ash, the one of the ones in the bushes is going to pop up and seeing you with the bow, fire at you. That is a 12.
That'll miss.
Nope. So the all four of you watch this crossbow bolt just flies past Ash and it nearly hits Tens again as he's still just barely woken up. And with that, Tensvet, it is your turn.
He just looks at Cole in the face and just says, "Fuck you," and proceeds to step around him. And get here. He'll peek around the tree, and I'll give him 10. So where would 30 feet be? 30 feet would be all the way out here. I don't want to be out in the open again. So he will. Let me check something real quick. Okay, cool. This turn, he's going to step out from behind the tree and shoot at this guy with his hand crossbow. Ten doesn't hit. He'll just step back around, cursing the entire way.
Yep. As that crossbow bolt flies off into the distance.
Yeah, that's his turn.
All right, Durango, you're up.
With his cover so rudely running away, Durango is going to run off to the side of the road into the tall grass here, the bush, and just hit the dirt, go belly down, and keep blasting. That warlock life. That is a 9.
Yeah. And once again, it just flies off. Just cannot seem to get a good bead on the targets as they keep ducking in and out of the trees.
It's my turn.
All right. You can hear one of them shout to the other three. Well, it looks like they've got a healer. We better run. And he is going to dart off into the tree line. This one is going to fire a shot at you, Cole, again.
Never.
The 13, yeah, as it misses, and he is going to...
No way. Not ever.
Not ever.
Take
Not
off
this
here.
guy. This guy's a bitch.
This balloon
this
hands.
one is going to fire again at... this was actually going to fire at Ash. He's got the better shot on Ash.
That misses.
For a 7. Before he takes off running. Oops, I think I skipped one. Nope, I didn't. There we go. All right, Ash, you're up.
Seeing as they're all fleeing, I'm gonna look at this last guy right here, and I'm going to fire off one of my arcane shots. I'm going to fire off a grasping arrow. So that's going to be a roll to hit first. Is an
11 does
hit.
not hit.
Yo, arcane archer in the house? No way.
Yeah, I don't know that he's ever hit anything with that bow, but yes.
No, I don't. I legitimately
Not
don't
since
think
level 3.
I have +3 proficiency and +2 to attack rolls with archery, and I still can't hit.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Whatever.
Here, I can
I'm
hand
gonna
you some marbles. They
charge
might be-
forward, and that'll end my turn. As he runs up there, you just hear Ash be like, "If he's point blank, I can't miss."
Let's see. Ismark, on the other hand, fires that. He leans against the tree, propping up Arena behind him. He fires that heavy crossbow, and does hit with a 16. Oof, 10 damage. Yeah. And you watch as the one that you were aiming and you're rushing up to, Ash, is that heavy. He turns to run as well, and as his back is turned, that heavy crossbow bolt slams into it. And he just plummets to the ground. Cole.
It's a bit too far away for anything, so... Just as a precaution, I'm gonna move right up to Ash here, and just gonna put the shield up salt hill, and yeah, you bitches! So smacking the Morning Star against the shield. That's it.
Tins is going to call out before he does anything. Do we want him alive? I say yes. And he's going to move 10 feet here. She'll leave him with 20 feet. So he'll run the 20 feet there. He'll use his action to dash. And then bonus action, use his face step to land here in front of this other guy. And I need him to make a... Let me check the sheet real quick. Oh no, he's just gonna take 1 fire damage. As he just comes rushing around the corner, dropping his slipping his hand crossbow back into its sheath, pulling his rapier, and just disappearing into the mist before small bits of flame appear as he just points it in front of this guy's face. Stop now.
What the fuck?
That's his turn.
It just starts to stop dead in his tracks. Durango, sorry.
So hearing that their opponents are beginning to flee, Durango gets back up onto his feet and in the bushes, draws his rapier, and starts just shaking it around, making noises like there's a struggle going on. Before emerging from the brush line, standing triumphantly and with a flourish, sheathing his rapier.
I love Durango Fortescue.
Make a performance. Yeah, performance.
It's 13.
There's a flourish.
Right. This one is going to, seeing you step in front of him, he drops the light crossbow and just draws a short sword, and he is going to swing at you. First strike is a 19.
Against me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits.
You added your bonus 2 AC?
That's including the bonus. God damn.
8
Stop
points of
it.
slashing damage.
Okay.
And he is going to just try to. He's going to just try to run away from you, to be honest.
Okay, I'll take my attack of opportunity with my rapier. We're gonna go for non-lethal damage. We're just gonna knock him out. How does a 16 sound to hit?
16 hits, yeah.
Okay.
6 points of damage, yeah. So you manage to slice at him as he's rushing by, and it catches a bit of the clothing and everything. It cuts deep underneath, but he still just keeps hauling ass into the woods.
And there's no way I can convince you to let me have sneak attack on that, huh?
Negative.
Negatory, Pigpen.
All right. Let's see, I'm gonna have to do that for now. All right, and this one also, in just a full speed, is going to completely dash into the woods. So Tens, you attempt to get this guy with one last strike before him and his companions just dart into that tree line and quickly disappear behind into the fog. You can keep giving chase if that's what you're trying to do, or
yeah, no, I will use my bonus action to dash, and I will stab this guy in the back if I have to leap on his back like a freaking monkey.
Okay. So you get one more. You get one more turn. You're able to catch up to him again.
Okay.
Well, before we do that, what are the rest of you doing? Are you guys giving chase as well?
Ash is gonna charge 30 feet forward, and are they still within 150 feet of me?
Yes.
All right, I am
the one that Tens is on is within range, barely.
I am gonna
barely.
One more.
Well, it's the other one full full dashed 60 feet away, so I guess not. Yeah.
The one that Tens is going after, I'm gonna attempt to Arcane Archer again.
God damn it.
All right. I don't know how to bless digital dice.
Change the color.
Yeah.
That's how we bless it. That's how just
Yeah,
get rid of the
that
dice you
that
have.
was a
and
12.
change
Make it a
the
new
color.
set.
Yep.
What do we do?
So 12 misses.
And Ash just lays down, puts his bow under his head.
He has to be the worst archer I've ever seen.
Okay, I have a question. Instead of chasing after him, can I use my bonus action to steady aim to give myself advantage and then
Yeah,
shoot him?
it's not quite your turn yet. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just
steady
running through
steady aim. I
options.
don't think is actually a bonus action. I think it's just at the cost of you not having any movement.
It's also a bonus action. Pretty
Oh.
sure. I'll check.
You sure? Okay.
Pretty sure.
And with that, Cole, are you doing anything else? Cole or Durango?
Oh, I'm gonna just stay in the range of 10, so he doesn't go and rush ahead of all of us and get shot by a billion arrows again. But he's running into a trap. Yeah, so I'm just gonna try to. I'm not gonna attack these things. They're retreating.
Ismark's going to attempt to, but he's going to miss. All right, well, Tens.
All right. So
What are you doing?
He's gonna do his best to pin a guy to a tree. Non-lethal advantage via steady aim, which is a bonus action.
Okay.
I checked because I wasn't positive.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fucking kidding me?
11 misses.
Yeah, no, he can't move with steady aim either. So
Arrows
he's just
don't work
gonna
in
stand there.
Barovia.
Yeah, apparently we just need to stick to sticks and fucking stones.
All right, as you attempt to steady aim, he darts quickly just behind a tree, and that arrow gets slaps against that tree side and breaks. As the
There's just
figures,
loud cursing.
yep, as the figures just continue to rush off into the woods.
He just starts like kicking the floor. He's like, yes, Sarah. Sheathes his rapier and goes over to one of the bodies to check it out.
All right, sorry.
It's all good.
Can we get our music back up here?
You get the vibes right.
Get the vibes right.
You need more sad boy music as you need.
My hope dangles on a string. Is
So, Tens, you go to examine the first body. Let me see here. Make an investigation check for me.
Yeah, okay. How about a 12? Golly.
Okay. So with a 12, you find 12 gold pieces.
Okay.
The armor is worn, pretty basic leather. You find a couple other what looks like minor tools, nothing crazy, just stuff for camping and hunting. Skinning knife. Despite
Can I walk over and go, what's there? And can I give him advantage on the roll? Just help him out.
That's a little late now.
Okay, I tried.
He just he points at the other body and just says, "Go look at that one. I'll give him help via Master of Tactics."
Yeah, I'll go up to the one I completely Thor spun hammered into.
Yeah, I can see Ismark is checking on Arena, and she is like they're sort of looking down at this mangled corpse, that black poison just coursing through its dead veins. Go ahead and make an investigation check with advantage.
All right. Not really my strong suit, but I'll take the natural 20 though.
Okay. On this one, you find a little bit more. You find a pouch filled with about 115 gold pieces.
Woo!
Wow.
Hold on, you
What a
said
medical
12
kit.
versus 115. There's a discrepancy here.
Nat 20, buddy.
Again, that same ruddy, worn leather armor. A bit of in a note, almost like not like a wanted poster, but like a missive, and it describes the. It looks like a reward for a missing child. From the town of Vallaki.
I think they might be from Vallaki, and I show him what's his name? My boy right over here is Mark. The flyer of the missing child. You sure this place is safe?
Well, there are bandits everywhere. Could have just been unfortunate timing. There's very little trust. The roads can be very dangerous. So, I don't know. Your friend just started firing. I didn't see what happened.
crossbow bolts coming out of the woods.
Yeah, hard to say. Again, it is a dangerous place. But if they have run off, perhaps it's best not to linger long, eh?
Yeah, we don't know how many more of them there are. Do the, push yourself off your own knees to get up sort of thing, and walk over to Durango, and I've got the pouch of gold in hand, and just give him a smirk as I make my way that way.
Durango hones in on the jingling sound of the coins. It shoots him a familiar, expectant smile. Like they have a system. He knows what to expect.
Yep.
Ash is gonna look over at the guy that's nearest to him, and see if there's anything particular about this guy that has like any identifying features of like who sent him or anything like that. He's not looking for gold or anything, because I'm guessing this is the one that Ten's looked over, but he's doing a more thorough.
Make an investigation check with just make an investigation check.
I mean, if I'm looking over the guy, can he have advantage?
I was going to give him disadvantage because he's already been looked over, but
Valid.
Keep pushing me.
Looks dead, Chief.
Yeah, it's hard to say. He's got the same sort of dark hair and a black beard that everyone else has. You look through, you don't find any notes or any identifying crests or anything denoting a house. The type of things you'd look for typically, if you were to get hit by bandits, right? To see who sent them. It doesn't seem to be anything. It just seems to be just a villager or a hunter.
And I tell if he has a cloak.
Yeah, it's very generic, brown and gray, just wool.
Hey, look, this one looks like yours.
I take it and I take off the rainbow Vistani one and put on the dead man's ugly one.
By the way, Durango, add 57 gold and 5 silver.
Ooh, don't mind if I do. The brave circle, also the generous circle.
All right, let's get out of here before more of them come back.
Tend to agree.
Porcupine, you good to go?
Fine. Though I do wonder if we should go a bit slower and let me be in the wings, be in the tree line.
You ain't leaving my side for the rest of this journey.
Well, don't you trust me?
No.
Fair.
Durango composes a quick song about the elf who sprouted holes, who owes his life to brave Sir Cole, and starts thumbing out a melody for it.
Hey, fuck you. And he just starts moving.
This is catchy. Ash starts snapping his fingers with it.
You all can go burn in the 9 hills.
Ash kind of stops at that one. And Ash gets serious and just keeps walking.
Everybody make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Oh, fuck.
No.
Oh, great.
Is it a charm effect?
It is not. Oh, how perfect.
Don't give me that. Don't say that to me. Oh, how perfect.
So stomping off a little ahead of the group. Tens, everybody's kind of laughing and walking behind you after just killing several men in the road.
As you do.
And you begin to head west, and as you make your way along the road, you hear that creaking noise behind you, the creaking of those gallows. And you can't help, you don't want to, but you can't help. And all of you hear it as well. And you all, as you're making this exit turn, and before where there was nothing, now hangs this lifeless gray body. To everybody but Tinsveta. Because for Tens, hanging from the gallows, as this breeze slightly turns this figure towards you, these dead eyes stare out of its head, is you. Hanging. Before you blink.
Fuckery.
Before you blink, and it's gone.
Is the corpse completely gone to all of us?
Yes.
Cursed land, eh?
He just kind of waves a hand towards it and just goes, fuckery.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn the definition, alright?
About fucking time.
Is this a dish? Could I order a plate of fakuri?
Yeah, it's a fakuri board in it. Do you know what I mean?
Get him with Terry's apple wine.
Not gonna lie, I'm really tempted to burn it down.
I think it's best if we continue to move. We have little sun left. You do not want to be wandering these roads at night.
Sure.
And as the mist begins to choke thicker around all of you, you continue to make your way down that muddy road further west before it begins to turn northward, weaving in and out of those trees. Your eyes darting between the tree lines, looking for possible assailants now at any moment. And that's where we'll take our first break. So thank you, everybody, for hanging in there with us. Thank you for joining us so close to Thanksgiving for those of us in the States. Remember to use your elf eggs, those leftover elf eggs from those Thanksgiving dinners to get yourself some nice dice. Remember the Steam giveaway for 300 elf eggs. It's very, very easy to get. And we will see you all in just a few minutes. Welcome back. So you continue down the old Sphalic road as it winds in and out of the tree line, your eyes darting back and forth, looking for any sign of would-be attackers now. That castle, high upon the mountains, continuing to stare down at you, looming in its presence. As you continue to follow the road, it clings to the side of a mountain and ends before a large arcing bridge of mold-encrusted stone that spans a natural chasm. Gargoyles cloaked in black moss are perched on the corners of the bridge, weather-worn frowns bearing down at you as if warning of what's on the other side. On the mountainous side of the bridge that you approach, a waterfall spills into a misty pool nearly 1,000 feet below you, which continues to feed into the river that meanders into the fog-shrouded pines that blanket the valley. As you approach the bridge, Ismark, looking at the sky and seeing the sun get further and further, stops all of you and says, this would be a good place to camp for the evening. We can put our backs to the water.
I tend to agree.
Smart man.
Yes, a most
Yes.
inspiring spot, no? Look at the waterfall.
This will make campfire difficult because of the mist, but that is also for the best. It is commonly known in Barovia that a vampire cannot cross moving water.
How wide is the bridge?
The bridge is maybe 10 feet across, enough for a carriage.
Okay.
With a little room.
He looks to the rest of the group. So are we going to be bedding down here? Yeah?
Oh, I think, but DM, can I make a some sort of check to see if I would know if running water actually stops a vampire or not, or if that's just a folks' tale?
I will give you religion or history, which either one you want.
Okay, what am I better at? Where's my religion, but not by much. Oh, I see 10.
Religion, but not that much.
I mean, it's a +3. That was just a low roll.
Yeah. You're not certain. You've never heard it before, but there are a lot of myths about vampires. A lot of myths about a lot of things, a lot of which you have used to your benefit in the past. And honestly, you can't recall whether this is true or not. You're trying to think back on your studies at the Spire, and
I went best student.
Mhm.
All right, I'll just take him at his word. And oh yeah, if he thinks this is a safe spot to do it, then let's do it.
All right. I'm going to block off this bridge then, at least have some semblance of, well, he looks over at Ismark. How often do people actually travel these roads at night?
people.
Things, you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
People are strange. They do all kinds of things they shouldn't do. This is common. I'm certain it is the same where you are from, yes?
Mm-hmm.
But most things that walk these roads at night, we want to avoid.
So, would you say that perhaps, do you think some semblance of a safeguard the passing through that bridge would be wise or unwise?
He thinks for a moment. I guess it depends on which direction you want to block the bridge from.
Yeah, well, it's not a matter of blocking anything. It's a matter of, and he pulls out a bell that he like rings lightly. You can always hang this between each gargoyle or lower in case we want to keep track of anybody that may be going by.
It could, yeah. I mean, any early warning signs, I imagine, would be welcome. It's best to be prepared.
He looks at the rest. It's got its ups and downs. It's got its pros and cons. If I do that and someone happens to trip it, then everyone knows. But if something or someone trips it, then everyone knows.
Durango just smiles and mimics the tone of the bell on his lute.
At this point,
So helpful.
I'd rather have everybody knowing, because we're part of everybody.
I would like to have a moment to pick up my my weapons.
All right. And he's going to go over and pull out a 10-foot piece of string, tie them off, and kind of hook them with a couple of pittons. I can never remember how you're supposed to say time off to kind of keep it tight at about, we'll give it knee level, and then tie the bell to the center of it. So that way, if anything goes over the top of it for any reason, it'll ting. And this way, if whoever may be up and on watch for the evening can just watch the other direction.
Fair enough. Let's see. Yeah, so as we start up, I gonna start going around picking up some of the dead roughage for campfire and that sort.
Okay. So you gather your things, you set camp with, or you create a small fire. Ismark and Irina begin to prepare themselves to sleep for the night.
Do I need to roll to do the thing that I was talking about doing? To keep it quiet?
Or make a sleight of hand check.
Okay. Tins, as he's getting ready to bed down for the night, kind of pulls out, like turns his back away from everybody, and like makes it to where he's hiding himself from everyone, and he pulls out one of those pastries. And he goes to unwrap it and kind of fumbles it, scoops it back over to himself, and wipes it off. Takes a couple bites.
You're a fucking idiot.
Before it reaches his mouth, Durango snaps his fingers and warms it up with prestidigitation.
You're a bigger fucking idiot.
Again, sweet and salty as the thick gravy meshes with the minced meat, which is tender and soft. Go ahead and roll a d4 for me. Right. And as you utter "you're a fucking idiot," Tens, your eyes begin to flutter before you fall unconscious.
I guess that means I'm taking first watch.
While he's knocked unconscious, I'm gonna go through his belongings and take any remaining pies.
Make an investigation check.
He would have hidden 2 in his bag.
That's a 13.
Tens, I'll give you. How do you want to roll this to see how well you would have hid these?
Well, given that he just passed out the last time, I think he would have actually gone out of his way to hide it a little bit. So maybe, he probably would have hid it up inside of something and like rolled it up into his bedroll or something like that, and then maybe even into his old cloak, since he's wearing the colorful one.
So you're thinking sleight of hand?
Either sleight of hand or deception.
I'll give you deception.
Okay. I can't roll well tonight at all, guys.
Oh God, thank you.
All right, Coles. So you find the other 2 meat pies rolled up.
The other one's still in his hand.
Oh yeah. Yep. That one comes out of your hand. The other 2 pies get thrown in the river.
You also find that platinum necklace with that topaz in it.
Mm-hmm. And some dark fancy clothes.
Some dark fancy clothes as well, yeah.
Okay.
Bits of evidence and notes from past cases. It's all written in Elvish.
past cases.
There's a single strip of blue cloth that looks like it's been well worn.
I'm just gonna peruse the case notes a little bit, just to, well, I know nothing about him, so.
Sure. Tens. What does he find?
So he'll find a bunch of scrawling. Do you know Elvish?
Do I know? Yeah, I do.
Okay. How about Undercommon?
I ain't know Undercommon. I know Elvish, Infernal, Celestial, and Common.
Okay. So
I'm gonna say, like, while Cole's doing this, Durango's taking interest and is looking over his shoulder,
okay.
and he
Do
he
either
reads
of you
all of
know-
those.
Do either of you know Thieves' Cant?
Is it a written language?
Thieves' Cant?
It's a
Yes.
cipher. It's
It's a cipher. Yeah.
So
He's also proficient in forgery kit. So there's a lot of layers here in these notes to go through.
let me just double check the wording on something. Just gotta pull up these Eldritch invocations because like I can read any written language.
So it doesn't decipher things. If you're proficient in forgery, there's a check for that.
Not forgery, no.
No.
All right. So let's see. Forgery kit. I'll say, how do you feel about a investigation there, Chief DM?
I already didn't we just roll an investigation check?
Roll over.
No, we didn't. We didn't know. You know, here's the thing. No.
No. Okay.
I mean, you're unconscious. Nobody's hiding anything. There's no rush. I mean, they can go right through all your stuff, and you did a very bad job hiding
That's
all
fair.
of it.
I did.
Oh.
So
Even if he rolls, I mean, if you want, how about this? Go ahead, Ryan. Roll investigation and see if you get over. What was it? A 6? What did you roll?
On the deception check.
4.
This is more of the
deception
notes
check,
and how he writes his notes than anything
Sure.
else.
Yeah, but again, posthumously, a 4. So see what you get, Ryan.
Okay.
You did roll one. I have a 13 on you. Was that the old?
That was my original one. So I rolled an
Yeah.
18 just now for the new one.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, that'll beat whatever his DC would be anyway. Okay. So it's notes on a variety of different things written in a weird prose that kind of goes back and forth between Common, Elvish, and in more recent notes, Undercommon. And some of it almost reads like a child's tale. But all of it, up until a certain point, has a certain lean to it, speaking on how it's mostly notes on connecting information from individuals with wildly elvish names to locations in the Feywild. The only things that he has written down recently are things like he wrote down the entirety of the fortune telling that you all had. And there's a few notes underneath each one. Like, for instance, the tax collector, the 8 of coins, bound and wet could mean anything below a, like, deep in a cave. It could mean there's a pool nearby, that kind of thing. There's actually a more recent one that speaks on down underneath the death house, trying to connect the dots between the water that surrounded that altar and whether or not the child had already died there. There's a lot of conjecture that kind of goes back and forth on a lot of different stuff that's more recent. But are you looking for anything in particular?
anything that gives insight into Tensveta as a person. I'm not so we've all experienced the same stuff, so I don't need to read the more recent stuff. But anything that gives a hint of his motivations.
He typically doesn't do anything with his hand crossbow or his rapier if he doesn't have to. Recent Times says that due to it no longer being in the Feywild, his motivation is that he's nervous and excited at the same time. And he wrote a full thing on the Dream Pastry Dream afterward, talking about how it felt good to be back home. His motivations are more along the lines of just see if we can find the matching cloth, see if we can find the woman that I'm supposed to find, and get home.
Okay. All right. Just look over at Durango. I don't know if you need to copy any of this. It's dribble for the most part. He's writing a story. And he's some sort of epic, but it's just him like carting folks around.
Is this what he does instead of sleep? Stays up all night writing these things?
Oh, I don't get him. And I'll to the best of my ability, I'll fold up the pieces of paper and kind of put them back in, the same spot as best as I can remember it.
Make a deception check.
That one I'm also +3 in, so let's see. Nope, 5.
Yeah, the light is dwindling and the campfire is steaming against the continuous sound of the as the mist and rain keeps falling and it is flickering, mostly embers.
Is it obvious that Cole's done a horrible job putting everything back where it belongs?
Oh, there's like paper sticking out the side of the bedroll and like.
Make a perception check.
It's 19.
Yes.
Yeah, Mr. Cole, perhaps you would allow me.
And howdy, what, mate?
Yeah, my friend, watch the nimble fingers. And Durango goes to very delicately rearrange everything back the way it was previous.
Go for it.
Deception?
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna borrow talent that. For a nat 20.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, you and Cole, you don't really see much of a difference as Durango. You remembering where everything is, almost in this uncanny fashion, this dark vision that you tap into that allows you to quickly and deftly maneuver everything back into place. This slight in the back of your mind as you cleverly place everything back in its position. Minus the 2 meat pies, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, those are in the river.
Okay.
And the scrap of what he left in his hand.
Right. All right. So who's keeping first watch? Ash?
Mr. Ash, perhaps you would let me stretch my legs. I am feeling restless. I would very much like to take first watch.
All right. No argument here.
So Durango's still got about half of his dinner handy, and he goes to find a perch where he can keep an eye on things, but also be a little bit concealed from the rest of the group.
Okay.
And just as a note, Cole is keeping his word, and he's set up his bedroll right next to Tens.
Okay. As Ismark pokes the fire a bit, you can tell the sort of nervous excitement. He's struggling to get to sleep. As the rest of you bed down, Tens, those same almost lucid dreams of the Fae, wild, and the warmth and the sun on your skin, and the luminescence of home. Very stark contrast to the gloom of Barovia. As you continue to slip into those vividly pleasant dreams for the next 6 hours. Ash, Cole, your dreams again are filled with hanging corpses and bandits and wild houses, old women and children. Horrifying. You toss and turn throughout the night while you try to get your forward, but you do get your sleep, but it's unpleasant. Durango, you find a little perch not far from the camp, but just far enough that you think you're hidden. What are you doing?
Durango is he's going to finish his meal for one. He's not actually doing a great job of keeping watch. He's trying to more commune with his muse and remember songs about vampires specifically, trying to glean knowledge from his musical inspiration to see what he can accrue for knowledge.
Go ahead and make a charisma roll for me. Just a charisma check.
It's 24.
Somewhere deep in your mind, and it usually you almost see the figure flicker for a moment on the road, the dark hood, featureless, and that deep voice in your head, almost staticky. Durango. It's hard to reach you. Where are you?
Durango replies in Infernal. I have been led to a land called Barovia.
Barovia. I am unfamiliar, but interested. What is it you seek?
Tell me, O Muse, what do you know about the vampire?
What is it worth to you?
This is
nothing for free, Durango.
Yes, this has always been the way, no? Tell me, O Muse, what is it you would ask in return?
Oh, a paltry thing, really. Maybe we up our bargain. What's a year?
Durango arches an eyebrow in interest. That seems most reasonable, O Muse. Yes. Consider it done.
Good. Vampires are undead servants. They are creatures cursed by death itself, an abomination to the goddess of death. She hates them. But they have as many weaknesses as they do strengths. Sunlight, running water, old weaknesses. They must be invited. But they are strong, particularly with age. They feast off the blood of mortals. They command many thralls, many creatures of the night, and depending on the vampire's strength, even armies of undead. So you've met a vampire?
I am not sure. The small folk here, they speak of such things of their lord, but I am not sure if they are correct or not. But tell me, O Muse, besides blood, how could one curry favor with such a creature? How could one please it?
Well, they are fickle and volatile and varying in their desires, Durango, like mortals holding on and clinging to their paltry existence. Each as an individual. Who is this vampire you seek?
They call him Lord Strahd.
Lord Strahd. I will see what I can find. But it sounds exciting. Perhaps we'll be seeing each other very soon.
Once again, O Muse, you have been very helpful.
With that, the voice just vanishes. That glimmering outline of a shape in the darkness just gone.
You guys call me a stupid elf.
He's not an elf.
I know.
All right. So as that conversation goes, go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage.
Oof.
That's a 7.
7. Yeah. So you. Okay. Yeah. The night is noisy. In the distance, howling. Every once in a while, you hear a shriek, a cry. Maybe some nighttime bird. Maybe some creature in the forest. It's difficult to tell. But the landscape seems almost more alive at night than it does during the day. But the hours pass unhindered. And you believe your time is up. You hop down from your perch, and who do you wake up?
And Durango squats down by Ash and just puts a hand on his shoulder and pretty lightly, rustles him.
Mm-hmm.
Very lightly, Chuck, not that hard.
Yeah, I got you. And Ash will look for a tree that overlooks the camp and shimmy up it and perch himself with his bow in his lap and take his watch.
Okay. Make a perception check.
15.
Okay.
I don't know if anything that means, but it's just disappointing to be beat by 1.
Chuck seems to be upset.
I'm okay. I laughed and then I coughed and I couldn't stop.
It's the same for you. You notice the sounds of the forest are unnatural, and it seems to be that there's more life active in the dark than there is during the day traveling the roads. The forests go from that eerie quiet to this almost panicked frenzy. And through that cacophony, that symphony of sound, you hear a snap. And your eyes dart into the woods and you see a shape. Immediately, your mind starts to race and you put form to that shape. It is humanoid. Start darting around looking for the signs of the crossbow. Maybe it's the brigands. Maybe it's those villagers from before. As it just shambles closer. Another snap.
Ash is going to try to remain silent, but is going to fire off an arrow, not at anybody in particular in the camp, but probably at Cole's shield. So it pings off the shield.
Make a ranged attack. This has gone well for you. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Did I roll damage?
He's gonna coup de grace 10s in his sleep.
Go ahead and roll the damage.
Oh, I could look. Yeah, that's fine. Roll great for that.
Yeah, ma'am. Cole. And listen, an 8 wouldn't hit you. You are asleep. But even in your armor, you feel at your hand this sudden from a dead sleep, this sudden as your eyes wake up, you attempt to move your arm a little bit. But your hand is pinned to the ground with an arrow in it. Take half of 9 damage.
Okay. And so that actually hit before I got a full long rest in. So, it's rounded up, so 5.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
And I just scream, "We're fucking under attack!" And I'm trying to rip my hand out of the ground. Where's my shield?
I have an important question. Do I wake up?
You do not.
Okay, cool.
I
Great.
also have an important question. Does keeping watch, does that count as like a short rest?
It doesn't. Here's what I'll give you guys in this short amount of time. I'll give you your. I'll give you if you want to use your short rest at any point during that period. So if you want to burn your hit dice now, go for it.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Well, except for Tenzaveta.
Except for Tenzaveta. Well, I mean, you could have on the road. I'll give you that. Ash, as you watch this whatever this figure continue to lurch out of the woods now, its attention seems drawn to that arrow and that sound of the scream, and from it you just hear as it starts to pick up speed.
I'm gonna knock another arrow and draw into it. And
Well,
let one
let's go
rip.
ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, that works too.
Sorry. It wasn't great anyways.
That's better.
I can't roll initiative for crap with Cole. I don't think I've ever gotten a good initiative roll with him, have I? Yeah. I don't think so.
Well, tens, you're not even a combatant.
I didn't roll.
I know. I did by accident. All right. Durango, you hear the sound of Cole screaming in the dark.
Yes. Durango springs to his feet, looks around and assesses the situation. Cole's hand is still pinned to the ground with that the shaft of the arrow.
Yep.
And so Durango is gonna go squat down by Cole, do his best to like calm him down. My friend, stop! You're making it worse.
What? Get me hand out!
With that, Durango is going to, with one hand, grab the base of the arrow where it's sprouting from his hand, and using the other one, snap it off the shaft so he can free himself. I don't know if that's an action.
I'll give you a bonus action.
With that, seeing Cole otherwise freed, he kind of brushes him off real quick, trying to make him look heroic before turning to look across the campfire. His loot held at the ready, ready to blast anything that comes in sight.
Okay. I think you. Yep. I think you'd be able to see something.
I don't.
You sure?
Okay, yeah, no, I can see that.
Yeah, your vision even better in the dark than everyone else's. You see this lumbering shape. You're not certain who it is or what it is. It could be ash. You're not. It's hard to tell in the darkness just beyond the campfire. But you see this shape sort of lumbering towards you.
Durango's going to point it out to Cole and the other members of the temporary members of their party, and take a few steps closer and try and see if he can, discern what it is. See if he can get a better line of sight on it.
Okay. As you step closer, the very visceral smell of rot and decay suddenly and quickly fills your senses. As your eyes adjust in the darkness, you see this corpse-like rotting flesh move towards you now. Seeing you and smelling you, it begins to move quicker and suddenly lurch forward. Yeah.
Mr. Cole, Mr. Ash, Mr. Tans. And with that, Durango looks back to the form advancing, and he levels his loot and starts blasting. That's an 18 to hit.
18. Go ahead and roll damage. All right, 8 points of force damage. Yep. As that loot shot like hammers into the creature, it continues, like not even recognizing the force of it. Just kind of gets knocked back before continuing to move forward and shuffle forward.
Seeing this, Durango's eyes go wide, and he retreats back behind Cole.
Mm-hmm.
Here they come. It's my turn.
Right. Arena darts to her feet, struggling. She pulls out that her sword again and shield and pins herself in front of Ismark. What is it? What have we heard?
It smells foul and moves unnaturally.
Ash.
It's just my in-laws, am I right, guys?
Hey.
Numerous and belligerent.
Swinging back over to where I saw the shape initially, and then seeing that blast go flying in to the darkness, I'm going to aim right there and let off an arrow for a 20.
20 will hit.
Thank
Nice
God.
job.
For 7 points of damage.
7 points of damage. Yep. Is that you fire an arrow and you hear it hit and pierce flesh. You can hear the sound and you can smell it now. You can smell that rot and decay. It create whatever it is just continues to move forward in the shadows.
I'm gonna hop down out of the tree and kind of run back into the firelight. Go, something's coming. And that'll end my turn.
All right. Yeah, they start shuffling forward. You can see, you more hear and smell these shapes moving underneath you in the trees, Ash, or moving in the trees beyond you. Cole.
Let's see. Would you say that if I use Divine Sense, would that tell me exactly where these things are, even though if I don't have, like, visual on them?
Yeah, I would say that.
Okay. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use my Divine Sense, and I mean, it's not too hard because of rotten, it smells like death. But honing in on exactly where they are, I just give a good sniff to the air and go, up there.
Yeah, and so you can see it in the darkness. This strange like glow around these shapes that are just moving towards you. 3 of them.
Right, and bloody elf. Shit. Oh, there's only 3 of them. I'm gonna move up. Ash, you still in the tree?
No, he's right in front of you.
All right. I'm gonna get up in front of him and just take up a defensive posture, and that's my turn.
All right. Ismark will do the same. He'll rally up next to you guys, right at the edge of the campfire. I can't see anything. What are you seeing, Mr. Cole?
Oh, we get 3 shambling. It smells like dead things.
That I can smell. You get a little nose blind to it, though, if you hang out in Barovia too long.
That's disgusting. And I've got my mace out, and I'm just sort of pointing in directions where I can
also ready himself. He's gonna ready an attack. All right. Durango. Again, your vision better than the others. In the darkness, you can see these shapes lumbering forward.
Watch where I am firing, and you will see what you must kill. And Durango starts. Well, first he's going to play that discordant series of notes. This kind of sends a chill up everybody's spine as he casts Hex on the closest one. And with the chosen ability for For disadvantage will be wisdom. With that done, he starts blasting. If you could believe that.
So I started blast.
So, anyways, yeah, that's a 10 to attack.
A 10 hits. Yeah. Go ahead and roll damage.
Oh damn!
I stand a chance.
I mean, they're corpses. I'm sure they're not that hard to hit.
That's 10 and another 3 from the hex.
All right. You watch as the zombie just the blast slams into its midsection, and as it does, it just breaks off. Like for those of you, Cole, you would be able to see it on the edge of your vision. It's just half of it just slumps over, and it just begins just dragging itself without its legs towards you.
Wow, that's tenacious.
It's my turn.
All right. Ismark, what is it? I don't see anything. Ready yourself, Arena. She too will come up here and ready herself. All right. Ash.
I can't see shit. Ash is gonna take out a torch, light it, and chuck it out in like that area.
Okay. That's going to be your action.
Yep.
As that torch lands in the trees and against the rocks, you can see now these rotted corpses. One of them pulling itself along on the ground by its hands. The others, one other one behind it, shambling towards you.
Found him. And that'll end my turn.
All right, do that. There we go. All right, with that, Cole, it's one of them reaches you. It's gonna shamble up to you and take a swipe at you with its claws. That's an 8.
Knock it away from my shield.
An attempt to bite you as well for 6.
And with the arm out, I use my other hand to like push him back.
Yeah. So readied in a defensive stance, you position yourself so that the creature comes in there. It just bats itself and throws itself against your shield, just desperately trying to bite at your flesh underneath the shield, like behind it. That one with half its movement makes it up to your ankles. And it's going to make a bite attack for 16.
That's a miss.
And a claw attack for 16.
It's a miss.
Yeah. So the one of your ankles too. You after pushing the other one back, comes down. You just position the shield down as it's at your legs, just trying to gnaw at your feet. Cole.
Well, it's nice of them to bring themselves to me. The one that's crawling on the floor, would that be considered prone?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's too good of an opportunity to pass up, so I'll just get off my boots and start smashing his cranium.
Herb stomp.
It's a 24 to hit.
24 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage. You didn't even need to. It's got 2 hit points, so you're good. Yep.
8 points.
8 points, yeah, as you just crush that head into the ground. It just collapses the skull. underneath this creature, and just splatters, and the arms just twitch a bit before it just stops.
And yep, and aware the other zombies there. After I pull the morning star out of its large position in the skull, I'm gonna put my shield up and get ready for the next.
All right. Ismark, seeing the other one, will rush forward with his sword out. Oh, Ismark. Yeah, so with lightning speed, Ismark actually darts forward and slashes. The first slash on the creature, cutting deep for 10 points of damage. And you watch as one of the as Ismark swipes down and cuts. He actually severs one of the legs. The shuffling corpse still just hopping on the other leg, attempting to reach it. Ismark. And Durango.
All right, for a bonus action, Durango is going to transfer that hex to the one that just stepped into the light. And he's going to start blasting away at that one. So an 11 to hit.
And 11 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That's 8 plus 1d6. Yeah, 8 plus 6, 14 altogether.
Oh, nice. 14 points again as you fire a bolt out. This one hitting the creature directly in the head as the head just explodes. The body still shambling and trying to reach Ismark.
It's my turn.
All right, Arena as well will dart in towards the creature and make an attack. For 2. So she just darts in around Ismark, and as Ismark's fighting off the corpse of things, she pierces it with her rapier and pulls it out, but it just barely seems to affect the monstrosity. She has a sort of horrified look on her face. Ash.
Oh, snap. And Ash is going to roll out around Cole while dropping his bow, and is going to hit it with his short sword. For 12.
12 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
7 damage.
7 points, yeah. So as you swipe that short sword down, you almost cleave the rotten corpse in two. That putrid smell is just, the insides just kind of slosh out in this decayed mass on the inside onto the ground. It stops moving.
Ash looks at Cole. Watch your boots.
Cole.
We're gonna have to spend like hours cleaning them after this. And I'm gonna the other zombies now in the torchlight, so I'm gonna go right over to them and smash the morning star up against my shield and kind of shove into them and try to clock them up over the top of the head. It's an 8.
Nate still hits.
Wow. Okay. Wow,
is this the pity fight?
this is the
From
pity
last
fight.
of them?
Okay. That's 8 points of 8 points of damage.
8 points of damage.
Wow, man.
So yeah, 8 points of damage is again you swing for the neck, and as you hit the neck, that it just like tears through, and your Morning Star just the whole head just kind of flops off down to the side, and is separated on the ground. The body still moving, the head still biting on the ground, trying to reach you. Is that on your turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, with that, Ismark will rush up as well. Oh, Jesus.
Everything
Ismark.
evens out.
Ismark. The second one hits. You can see now as he takes that sword in two hands and just begins hacking, and where he goes, he just didn't expect the head not to be there as it slops off onto the ground, and he swings. The swing goes a little wide. The second shot coming down onto the body. I didn't mean to roll that. On. All right, for 8 points, 8 more points of damage. This time, one of the arms off the creature also falls to the ground as he slices it right off, as it rips and slops onto the ground. The arm itself is continuing to move. The head, the arm, and the remainder of the body just all flinging themselves at you guys. And with that, the head at your feet, Cole is going to make a bite attack. For an 11.
That will miss. Well, that hits, but it scrapes off of the metal plated toe of Cole's boot.
All right. The this head just gnawing at your sabatons. The arm is going to reach up and try to grasp at Ismark, but he too just definitely avoids that, and the body will make another attack at you, Cole. And it's just not even seeing anything. It just seems to be blind as it's just randomly swinging and grabbing as you just easily avoid it. Durango.
Durango's going to transfer that hex to the remaining zombie, and taking aim with his loot, he waits until there's a gap between Cole and Ismark and lets off a blast. It's a 10 to hit.
10 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
That is 9 plus 1. 10 damage altogether.
Right. Another 10 points. As your bolt slams into the one-armed, headless body of one of these creatures.
It's my turn.
All right. Arena darts forward as well. And she misses. And Ash.
We're fucking serious. Ash runs up and stabs at it with his short sword. Specifically the head.
Okay, sure. Yeah, 20 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
For 6.
All right, so you stab down at the head. You hit it, and you just a chunk of the skull just like cuts, it slashes off. It's like bits of the inside just sort of ooze out. Whatever was in there just completely liquefied at this point. Everything is still twitching and swinging.
Usually people die when you kill their head.
Cole.
Get off my boat! And yeah. I pulverize them into little mashed bits. That's 23 to hit.
23 hits.
Uh, 9 damage.
9 points of damage. The that morning star swings down, and as it does, the whole body just again lurches forwards. It just catches it and tears at the front of it as it rips through, just pulling bits of bone and sour flesh as it does. The whole thing just slumps backwards and just everything stops.
Durango plays a quick victory riff, which in no way infringes on Squaresoft's copyrights.
uh,
Yeah.
Ismark looks down at the corpses, sort of turns his head in disgust a little bit. Peter. I knew him growing up. He went off with that wizard. This is what happens to those that oppose the devil. And he sort of grabs Serena and they walk back to the campfire.
Ash, don't go nowhere. We need to get these things in the river.
Do we really want to put him in the water?
Listen, they can't stay here. It'll attract all sorts of vultures and predators and all sorts of things.
DM, do I know which way the river is flowing? Does it flow down towards the village?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to tell the waterfall, you know.
We throw these rotten pieces of garbage into the river, that whole village is going to be without clean water.
Alright, then we gotta burn them.
Fair enough. And
Yeah, go ahead.
Ash is gonna look to see if there's anything left in any pockets of any clothes that might be around. Like, he's not gonna do anything that's gonna cause any residue to be transferred, but just to see if like he can find, like he said it was Peter, he went off with the wizard, he's curious to see if like there was any sort of missive or order or anything that might have survived.
Muted, dude.
I know, I got the message. Make an investigation check.
I read lips there for a second. It was great. I don't see shit. For my natural 1.
The bodies are just so decayed, and everything on them, even the clothing and everything, is just so just caked in viscera, and it's hard to even determine if there was a pocket in these pants. There's no other belongings on them. Whatever rags are still attached to their corpses are fairly loose and or just matted with rot.
Yeah. They're gross. And Ash will go and pick up his torch and set the pieces on fire.
As we're loading these, we should get them into a pile first. But as we're putting these, I just don't want like separate fires all over the place. It's funny, yeah. None of these dead things have a bow and arrow.
Wait, that hit you? I don't hit anything with my bow.
I hold up my hand.
Oh, I'm sorry it was you. I'm happy I'm getting better.
I ain't better, mate. You're shooting at the wrong team. Literally, the first thing you got to do is attack the enemy. Right?
I was trying to hit the bell and make a ring-a-ding.
Use your voice. You could
Well,
yell.
I didn't want them to come after me though.
Oh, so shoot me instead. Great plan. Oh, just tell me lightlies, and just pile them up and.
You might want to rinse that hand out in the river before you bandage it.
Oh, you might want to rinse it out in the river before you bandage. He will do that. He'll after help piling up and go over there, rinse it out. And actually, I'm gonna go through the medical kit that we purchased and see if there's any like rudimentary gauze or something like that.
There are clean bandages and things in it that you can tie the wound with.
Wrap it up.
As people start returning to the fire, Durango clicks his tongue disapprovingly at the state of them and starts snapping his fingers, cleaning them up with prestidigitation, kind of wrinkling his nose at their smell and appearance.
The smell, unfortunately, doesn't diminish. It is just permeates as this thick black smoke emanates from the burning corpses.
With that, realizing that, Durango snaps his finger again and tries to use a gust of wind to like push the disgusting oily smoke away, try and make their campsite bearable.
Yeah, and despite the fact that smoke doesn't, is no longer blowing directly towards the camp, it's hard to ignore the stench and the burning smell now attached to it.
He turns to Cole and starts speaking in Infernal. You see, this is why we need a more wealthy patron than perhaps farmers. I am tired of sleeping in the dirt, smelling burning who knows what.
Me too, but again, this is a reply Infernal. Me too, but if it's this king of theirs, this lord of theirs is sending these things after us, I don't know if there's any coin to be had.
Surely, if there have been others before, they say sacrifice. I'm sure they had some treasures among them. A man like this should not be destitute.
I ain't saying he's poor. I'm saying he ain't sharing.
Perhaps if he had what he wanted.
Oh, I suppose I is.
Well, if he is seeking these people, perhaps we could aid him in finding them. Perhaps he would be grateful. Perhaps we are playing for the wrong team.
Cole just sort of looks at him and it just goes. Play it by ear, but it's not a bad idea.
Mr. Ash, what language is that they speak?
I have no idea. I think it's the one with the pointies. I think that's like his native tongue.
It sounds like a pack of dogs killing a wild boar.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah. All right. That was a good impression.
Yes, well, I hear it in my nightmares.
Have you heard it around these parts before?
No, that is a new one for us.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They do it every once in a while. Kind of freaks me out.
Yes, it is different, but you know, you all have strange customs.
Yeah, I kind of shot my teammate.
Yes, we saw that as well. It wasn't didn't look great for the resume.
They didn't ask for one on, when they hired me, so
It's good point. Perhaps next time I will ask for more credentials.
hey, I didn't shoot you. You're fine.
This is a good point.
So after finishing conversing with Durango and giving his bandages one more look over, if you need me, I'll be passed the fuck out right here. Throws himself dramatically on the ground.
Tens. Suddenly, your vision starts to return. You're pulled from that dream state, and you hear Cole, or a large shape wearing metal armor. You assume is Cole, plop down beside you.
He opens one eye and just looks over at him, looks around. Yeah. Got a bit of an orange tint to his clothing. Who's still awake?
Everybody at this point. Everybody's kind of standing around looking or getting themselves ready, like they're just going to bed now.
Did I guess it's my watch then.
Yeah. It's your watch.
All right.
Oh, if there's trouble, just yell.
Sure. He'll very lazily lean against the nearby tree and just idly flip through his own notes and keep watch as everybody passes back out.
No one tell him about the zombies. Just don't tell him.
Mr. Tens, while you were asleep, I ordered a hot plate of fakuri.
Well, I am hungry. Do you have anything left?
It's all cooking on the fire.
Smoldering in a pile.
He goes to dig through his pack. Finds no dream pastries. Closes it up. Flops it over. Just kind of sulks. All right. Well, that sounds like, and that smells awful. So good. Thank you.
And as the rest of you tuck in again for the remainder of a nightmare-fueled sleep, the sun begins to rise. The sun begins to rise. Once again, hitting those gray, overcast skies as it just barely tries to wince its way above those teeth-like mountains, those natural borders to this misty valley. One by one, you all awake. Yeah. Go ahead.
Obviously had a bit of a rough night, unlike myself. So I'm just going to let them sleep as long as necessary. Maybe even take like a small cat nap myself.
Okay. Yeah, the rest of the night passes unhindered. As the morning arises, you all gather your belongings, your things. You'll take your long rests.
Yeah, Tens will go ahead and check his rope, his piece of string that he had tied up, untie the python, piton, however you say it. Put the stuff back in his bag if it's unhindered, if it hasn't been torn apart by anything.
No, nothing in the night.
Okay. He's gonna look up at the gargoyles. They seem nice, like guardians of the stream, this waterfall.
These stone, moss-covered faces frowning down at you.
They just need a good pick me up. He slaps one on the thigh.
It is wet and cold to the touch.
And he turns around and looks at the others. This way, right?
Yes, we should. If we moved quickly, we should reach Valaki by next sunset.
Onward then. And he like lazily turns around, one foot going out, before he almost half stumbles his way forward onto the bridge.
Okay.
I think I ate him.
You think you what?
I think I ate him. He's supposed to drop the H's in Cockney stuff. Hey.
Okay. You continue, you cross that large ravine, across that old stone bridge, the sounds of the waterfall fading behind you as you continue to make your way north. After another couple hours, you reach a large set of stone gates, very similar to the ones that you first passed when you entered Barovia. Large, headless warriors, once proud protectors of this land, now decrepit and decayed with time and disrepair. The road turns in two directions once again, as Ismark hastily and nervously continues to push towards the gate. The path moving eastward leads, winding through the foothills, through this ravenous, or this cavernous ravine, towards that looming dark palace, that home of the devil Strahd. Peering down the valley as if gazing upon you. Quickly, the sooner we are out from the shadow of that thing, the better.
You know, I've been thinking about it. With all the legends that they told before, and he's just kind of like keeping pace at best. He's like almost falling behind from time to time as he's like lazily moving about, but still keeping his attention. He says, "It's really odd that people would talk of this person as a prince, a king, like some sort of salvation, whenever everything around him is so desolate and desecrated. It's like they don't see the truth. Makes me wonder if we should even go into the mountains."
I think I see the truth. But they're scared to be one of them desolate, decrepit, decayed things in the landscape here. If you got somebody that's gonna kill you, you're not gonna piss them off.
Well, that depends.
Well, most things would think otherwise.
I can agree with that.
Why? I don't know about you elf types, but yeah. Self-preservation is pretty strong in us humans.
It's strong in just about everything I've seen that's living, so that makes some sense. I'm just saying. even in self-preservation, I suppose there are a lot of lies in life. He's just going to continue to ramble about nonsense.
Cole's gonna try to keep up at first, and then realize it's really gone to like a weird off-track direction. And, it's sort of like, yeah, I think Durango. Yeah, just.
Whenever you get close to him, you get the soft scent of cinnamon.
At least you don't smell like corpses.
As all of you pass that fork in the road, turning towards the gate, sitting at the edge of the fork, almost silent and stone statuesque like, is a large black carriage. Two massive black stallions sit almost lifeless at the front of it. Before one of them, with the blinders, turns its head just to gaze sideways at you as you pass. As it huffs, this steam leaves its nostrils in the cold, wintry air.
Tins is going to stop and like go over to the horses, like to these stallions, and try to pet one and just.
I didn't keep his hands to himself. It's intense. Why don't you stay over here, eh?
Well, wasn't the Seven of Stars something about a wagon?
If you're really gonna take the, if you're really gonna take the word of weird gypsy ladies, I guess.
There's a little bit of truth in every lie.
Yeah, well, whatever. All right.
Can you see inside of the wagon?
Yeah, so go ahead and make a perception check.
How about a dirty 20?
Dirty 20. So there are heavy curtains that cover the inside of the wagon, but you peer inside of it with the dim overcast light that is available to you. The inside seems empty. You can see Arena and Ismark start to get nervous, and Ismark begins up. We must be going. That is best to avoid that carriage.
Whose is it?
It only goes one place.
Ah. So later then. And he pets the stallion one more time, just kind of like brushing the mane down. Let's go.
It only goes one place.
Yeah. Yes, that is Strahd's carriage.
Oh.
For his guests.
Just had a chance to pet Prince's horse. How pleasant.
A devil's steed.
Tomato.
Oh, I can't figure this elf out by my life.
Hey, Tens, you want a new pet?
Kinda.
Unhitch those horses.
Oh, no, I don't. I've apparently already drawn the ire of one of you all, so I don't think it would be wise of me to draw the ire of that one. And he kind of like thumbs up towards the castle.
I think it's the first smart thing I heard you say.
We've already lingered longer than we should. Please.
By all means.
The hours pass again. Several more now as noon, the sun, or what you can make out of it behind the clouds, passes directly overhead. As the road meanders further west, you see the trees again thicken out, the woods opening up before you. In the distance on a hill, an old windmill turns. Broken paddles lazily turning in the wind.
Can Tens figure out how they're spinning if they're broken?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay. Eight.
You're not really certain. It's intriguing. I would say the paddles on them aren't exactly like, they're not in the best of shape. But
okay.
The wind,
still
I guess, is still
operational.
catching them, or it's magic. It's hard to tell.
Okay. Noted.
And as the road continues to lead towards that windmill, Tens, you notice those wagon tracks before that you've seen this entire length of the road that you noticed early on, leading up towards that windmill.
He's going to stop and look at our patrons and just say, know anything about that windmill? I'm assuming it's another one of Strahd's machinations.
That is not. That is where the old woman who sells the pastries. That is her farm.
Oh.
You hear Cole audibly sigh and just like.
What? You haven't tried one. The dreams are marvelous. And I don't even get to dream very often.
Tell me, is this lady of high standing? Is she, how do you say, nobility?
She gives me the creeps. I don't know what else to tell you.
She
I have
reminds me.
never interacted with her personally.
She
But the
reminds me of
locals call
people
it
back home.
old bone grinder.
They call her old bone grinder or the windmill?
That's a good question. I am not certain, but I've always believed it was the windmill.
He takes a note of that. He pulls out his notes and very quickly writes that down.
You can see Ismark sort of looking at the sun in the sky, and I don't know. It's
It's
we could go either way. Perhaps we could see if we could spend the night here. Otherwise, we will need to pick up the pace.
Oh, then let's go.
We'll have a few hours, and we don't want to be caught in the woods at night.
Right.
We can always come back. I just do this job and then we'll figure out what we're doing from here.
It's always about the job and not about the journey.
Well, yeah, the job gets you paid so you can journey.
There's always money along the journey.
Not as much as I would like. Yeah.
Not doing the right jobs then, are you? And he just kind of starts meandering his way back along the road.
I just do not like him.
Tell me, Mr. Tens, what sort of jobs is it that you do?
I just find people. It's very easy.
You'll find people, like like the rod with water. You stand in the field until it points the right way and say, "Yes, I found people."
You could say that, but only if you would assume that it would be people as the actual rod doing the dowsing, not myself.
And
Ash
this
looks
gets
o-
you gold.
Sometimes, usually.
Ash looks over at Cole. I'll try to wake him up with an arrow next time.
I appreciate it.
We could talk about it more later, but we have somewhere to be.
Yeah, pick it up. Let's go.
I'd love to stay here, for all intents and purposes, and pure, true honesty, transparency. Would love to go up into that windmill now, meet the lady, and actually speak with her about some things, and then potentially stay here, rather than potentially get into a bit of a fight with her. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Well, let's leave it up to.
No, they need to get there. We need to get her there safe. So let's go. We can come back to this later. Time is weird.
All right. And Ash starts walking along the path, ignoring the windmill.
The road continues to wind up the back of the around to the back of the windmill. You see it and hear it creaking and slowly turning in the distance behind you, looming over you now, as you follow the path around the edge of the forest. The sun getting closer and closer, Ismark continues to push ahead. To the north, the tree line opens up to a large watery surface. This mirror-like lake, gray as the sky above, mirroring that reflection as the road passes deeper and deeper into the woods. And as the sun begins to set, the large walled city of Alaki begins to appear in the distance before you. The dark and brooding mountains to the north and south just looming over like these two massive giants staring down at you. Their silhouettes growing darker and darker with every footstep. The woods begin to recede, revealing the sullen mountain berg surrounded by this big wooden palisade. The thick fog pressing up against the wall, visible in the dark, glinting off of a bit of torchlight as they're being lit inside the walls and above them. As if the fog itself almost trying to creep in, as if trying to find a way into the city itself. As that dirt road ends, you find yourself in front of a set of sturdy iron gates, as a pair of shadowy figures standing behind them. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Nice.
So, thank you, everyone. You guys are all level 4 now, so we'll figure that out at the end. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, titties.
Fantastic.
So thank you, everybody, for spending these last couple of hours with us in Barovia. Please make sure that you use your elf eggs wisely to earn yourself either a Steam game tonight by clicking the Steam game bribe button, cost of just a follow, or in our Dragonite dice giveaway, this month's Quaylen dice that we'll be drawing on Thursday. So fast that came around.
I know.
I think I already picked the next month's dice. Yeah, I think I know who they are. Yeah. I know it's coming.
I think I do too, if I remember.
Yeah. So super excited for that announcement after that. And then, of course, huge shout out to our sponsors, Foundry, which is the virtual tabletop that we use. Those guys are killing it over there. The mod community, phenomenal, makes running these games super easy. And of course, Forge. Forge, don't forget, if you're interested in doing Foundry and Forge right now is 10% off using the Black Friday 21 coupon that ends, I believe, tomorrow night. So If you ever thought about it, you got 14 days free. And if you stick with it, you get 10% off of that subscription. Really, really cheap. $4 if you want to be able to run the games the way we do. Yeah, absolutely killer. So with that, let's go ahead and do our Steam game bribe. So Ryan, you ready?
All right. Yes, I am, sir. Let's get it.
Who's winning the game tonight?
Let's see. Z-Kraken55, congratulations. You have won yourself the Polish Elder Scrolls.
Polish Elder Scrolls.
I'm going to send that to you right now, buddy, but I do ask that you hop into our Discord sometime and let us know how that is. I'm super curious.
Please do. I've actually heard a decent amount about Two Worlds. It was supposed to be really good when it came out.
Awesome. All right. Well, as we always do, I don't remember who did it last week, but why don't we go to Ryan this week? Ryan, why don't you go ahead and roll us a D20?
Wow, it's been a while. Okay.
I know, right?
That is a 3.
3.
So that's going to take us to Devil's Luck Gaming.
Devil's Luck Gaming. Well, you know, pretty serendipitous. So, guys, let's go. We're going to go raid Devil's Luck. Appreciate all the support tonight. Absolutely love having you around. Make sure you come check out our games on Tuesday and Thursday, and or our Sinner's Dream game every other Monday, not this week, but the week after, with Chuck as the DM.
Hey.
And that being said, let's go make some noise. Let's go make some new friends, and we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.